Hello, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host. Just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona, and hopefully today with our bets and your bets going to be another profitable day for you. College football week 3. Yeah. One of our favorite sports out there. If you're new to our show, welcome. Especially if you're coming over from TikTok, you'll actually enjoy this show a little bit more because we can actually talk about sports wagering, unlike what we can talk about over on TikTok. Anyway, new to our show, we are every YouTube episode brought to you by the world's #1 sports betting app, Outlier. 7-day free trial you can find in our YouTube channel page or in the comment section of every episode here on YouTube. Not only are they going to help you find great bets, give you trends on what's going on, player props and teams and everything else. Do all that. Then they're also going to let you know where the money's coming in on the books. Then they're going to help you out with, odd shopping at all the books that you're currently at. All you have to do is select the books that you're currently a member or a customer. And then you can odd shop from there. Then also you can make the bets right from Outlier, which means you can store multiple bets from multiple books, which you should be betting multiple books anyway if you have access. That way you can get the best odds possible or best point spreads possible. Outlier 7-day free trial, YouTube channel page, as well as in every comment section on every episode. Also, private Discord channel available for all of you out there as well. If you need references, no problem. I can give you some. If you want to hang out with a couple hundred people plus that like the same thing you do and are into it big time, and that's called sports wagering, great place to be. You get all of our bets early. In fact, this college football episode they've had for multiple days. So just to give you a heads up, let's get to college football. We got one Thursday night game, a slate on Friday, and then we get into Saturday. We'll give you all the games. We're going to run through every one of them. We are not playing in all these games, so make sure you pay attention to the ones we say we're in if you want to know what we played personally. First game up, NC State, Wake Forest. Always a fun one to start off with, right? Nothing for us in this on Thursday Night Football. We're focused on the Packers and Commanders with the NFL, 7:30 Eastern time frame. To be really honest, I think the line's relatively close. Wake Forest has been underwhelming. NC State really hasn't covered a bigger number either. 7 seems to be probably the right number. If you can get NC State at 6.5, might be worth a very small, minute play. That one, total of 52.5, sounds pretty damn close to me. We're staying away from that one. Friday. Let's get into this. Indiana State, Indiana. When you thought 50-point spreads were going away, 48.5 is what's on the board. In-state rivalry game ain't going to be much of a rival game. Indiana should go out there and crush them. The question is, are they going to win by 7 touchdowns or only 6? No play for us in this one. Spread just a little bit too big. If this thing was at 41.5, we'd probably be in. Colgate, Syracuse at 7 o'clock Eastern time frame. Syracuse, I can't believe they're a 37.5-point favorite against anybody. 66.5 total. That's a ton of points as well. No play for us in Colgate and Syracuse. Next game up, Colorado, Houston. We are heavily invested in this game. Houston favored at home, 4.5, 44.5. So what have we seen from Colorado so far? They lost the game to Georgia Tech at home. Their offensive line and defensive line, not that good. Houston's is better. Now they're going to the third-string quarterback. Once again, Dion is very impatient with quarterbacks. He wasn't very impatient with his son, but he's impatient with quarterbacks. We've seen that multiple times. That doesn't seem to stop it down. To be really honest, I don't know why he's making this move. Julian Lewis is the future of this team. If not, he's going to transfer out after year 1 anyway. I don't get this move going to the third string because he was good for a half of football. At home, you should have been dominating anyway. You're going to have to be patient with young quarterbacks. Just a fact of life. And he's not been patient at all. The line in this one went down to 4.5. I can't believe there was Colorado's team to get this from 5.5 to 4.5. This is Houston for us all day and 6 times on Sunday. Houston minus 1.5 first quarter, 2.5 first half, and 4.5 for the game. Next game up, Kansas State, Arizona. Kansas State on the road. Kansas State just lost to Army at home. What the hell is going on in Manhattan, Kansas? Arizona's been kind of a surprise through a couple of weeks. We didn't expect anything out of this Arizona team. I guess we're going to have to rethink of what we think about the Big 12. ASU's not as good as we thought they were either. So Kansas State, we thought was going to have a great chance to win this thing. Iowa State might run away with the Big 12 early. Texas Tech looks really strong as well, but Kansas State has been an absolute disaster so far. First of all, horrible coaching in Ireland. They were scared of a little water. They lose the Army somehow. Army gave up 30-plus points to Tarleton State. And you can't put up a 40 spot? It's beyond frustrating with this Kansas State team. Arizona's actually getting 1.5 at home. Total 54.5. I'd tell you to play the over, but I'm concerned about how many points actually Kansas State can put up. So Arizona money line, first quarter, first half, and the game. Next game up, New Mexico, UCLA. I desperately want to play New Mexico in this thing on Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern time. UCLA is, look, disappointing to say the least. We can't make a play here that, you know what I mean? New Mexico's not good. If UCLA struggles to cover 15.5 here, we kind of got them figured out what they are. 52.5 total, no play for us in that one. Then we get to the Saturday slate, noon Eastern, Big Ten kickoff. Of course, the Big Ten now with 18 games, 18 teams. Oregon and Northwestern is going to lead this thing off. Oregon is better than last year's team, folks. And last year's team ran the table until we got Jeremiah Smith torched him in the Rose Bowl. But that was honestly, that game there was dumb defense. You don't cover Jeremiah Smith one-on-one. You just don't do it. I mean, it's been proven time and time again. If you play him one-on-one, you're going to lose. The kid is an absolute beast, man-child, whatever you want to call it. But he is absolutely fantastic. I mean, he's ridiculous. So what do we do in this one here? Well, it's Oregon because Dante Moore, he might not throw for a bunch of yards, but this rush offense is ridiculous, to say the least. And to be really honest, they look really, really good. Again, right? It's ridiculous how good they look defensively as well. They're only favored by 27.5 here. That's not near enough with Northwestern's putrid offense. Remember, this is a Northwestern team that put up a whopping 3 points against Tulane. We definitely think the defense is better for Oregon. Let's give you all the plays in this one. Oregon minus 6.5 first quarter, 14.5 first half, 27.5 for the game. Next game up. Let's have some more college football fun. Noon Eastern time frame. Clemson at Georgia Tech. This line got steamrolled, to say the least. So this line opened Georgia Tech plus 9.5. We thought that was a mistake, to be really honest. So we played it on ESPN Bet, and there was no first quarter, first half available. I wish there was because we would have maximized all of it. So we do have a pretty damn sizable going on here. Clemson's look god-awful. Georgia Tech, Haynes King, quarterback, full participant. Clemson can't seem to stop a running quarterback, and if you thought you saw him already, wait till you say Haynes King, who ran for like 150 yards plus against Colorado. This game, Yellow Jag, at GT, I'll be really honest with you. We think Georgia Tech wins this one. We don't think we need the points. We're going to play some separate bets, money line, and then with the points because we're all over this thing. So here we go. Georgia Tech plus 0.5 first quarter, 2.5 first half, 9.5 for the game. I understand it's 3.5. 3.5 I'm still happy with. Georgia Tech money line, first quarter, first half, and game. So all GT all the time. Clemson has not showed up yet. There is an outside chance maybe Clemson does show up in this game. Just keep that in mind. But they haven't shown up this season yet. The game against LSU was ridiculous. Last week, not any better. Cade Klubnik's supposed to be a stud, but ain't seen it this season so far. Maybe they're better later half of the year, but they're not looking bueno at the moment. Next game up, Wisconsin, Alabama, also 9 Eastern time frame. So which Alabama are we going to see? The team that beat Louisiana Monroe by 100 points, or the team that lost to Florida State. Probably somewhere in the middle is what we're going to see, right? I expect them to put up some points here in this one. Wisconsin's defense is real. I think they're good. The problem is their offense is god-awful. So Bama's defense, obviously good against ULM, did not look good against Florida State. But running quarterbacks always cause Bama problems. They have since the Saban days. Shouldn't see a lot of that with Wisconsin here. Total in this game, by the way, as well. So Bama's favored by 20.5. That might be about right. 46.5 total. I honestly don't think Wisconsin's going to score a heck of a whole lot in this one, right? Under team total, if you have access to it for Wisconsin, I like it. This line has came down a little bit on the total. It was 47.5 when we grabbed it. I'm still okay at 46.5. Like it better, 47.5, obviously. But Wisconsin and Bama under 10.5 first quarter, 24.5 first half, 47.5 for the game. Next game up, we got Oklahoma Temple. Oklahoma, great win last week. Now they got to go to Temple. Temple's been a little surprised, better than I thought. And Oklahoma's favored by 22.5. No play for us in this one. I'll be really honest. Temple plus the points might be the better of the plays in this one. Under 51.5, though, probably plays as well. Next game up, noon Eastern kickoff as well. We got Michigan, Central Michigan. All right, so Michigan's had a rough week with Oklahoma last week. We understand why. They went against a really good defense with a freshman quarterback on the road. They're back at home against the Chippewas. We expect Bryce Underwood in this rushing attack that did absolutely nothing last week to be monstrous here. We are on Michigan. Yes, I understand. Well, they just came off of this. It doesn't matter. Michigan minus 6.5 first quarter, 14.5 first half, 27.5 for the game. Best thing that happens to a freshman quarterback is to have a good run game. They should be able to run the ball all over the Chippewas. Bryce Underwood should be able to roll out and find whatever average receiver Michigan has. Michigan is so good at recruiting, it just absolutely floors me. They do not have a receiver worth the salt. They got a bunch of 2-star guys at receiver and 5 stars everywhere else you look. But Michigan wins in this one, 5+ touchdowns, where we got it. All right, next game up. My apologies. We almost got ahead of ourselves. Buffalo, Kent State, noon Eastern time frame. Buffalo monster favorite here is Kent State's won one game in 2 years. Buffalo 21.5, probably going to cover. No play for us in that one. Next game up, noon Eastern time, Troy and Memphis. So Troy looked good last week. I thought, they played hard. They played well. They just came off a tough game. Memphis is always so much fun to watch. They're fun again to watch this season as well. They're favored by 3.5. This line was 4.5, 5. But I love what I see with Memphis here. Their offense, much better, should put up some points in this one. They might give up some as well. That 51.5 could be in trouble, but it's staying underneath that. So an over is a great possibility there. But do love us in Memphis. Let's give you all those numbers. Memphis minus 0.5 first quarter, 2.5 first half, 3.5 for the game. And the next game up, we got noon Eastern time frame. No, 12:45, sorry. Auburn, South Alabama. So South Alabama will give you up some points. Auburn scored, 40+ against Baylor. And the total in this game is only 55.5. South Alabama will probably be able to score maybe a touchdown or two in this one. But we love Auburn in this one. Auburn, I think, runs this thing by 6 touchdowns almost. Auburn minus 6.5 first quarter, 14.5 first half, and 24.5 for the game. The question is, do they allow any points on the backside, right? After all the starters are sitting and all that kind of fun stuff. Next game up, let's get to UConn, Delaware. Delaware beat Delaware State, then loses to Colorado, 3 o'clock Eastern time frame. Don't really love a lot in this game here. UConn 10-point favorite on the road. I think this game's relatively tight. Probably would take the 10 here, but no play for us. 3:30 Eastern time frame. We're big in this one. Tennessee plus 3.5. Georgia. Tennessee's missing a couple key pieces. Cornerbacks, though, which this year I'm not as concerned about against Georgia. Georgia's definitely playing on, I think, running the ball more and more in this one. So I don't know if that's going to be as big a deal as what we think in that one. But We love Tennessee in this spot. I think Tennessee should be able to score some points. I expect their defense to play well. We should see overall, I think, some pretty good stuff here out of Tennessee at home, getting points. At worst, I think they just keep this thing close and lose by a field goal. That's kind of what we're thinking here. Tennessee plus a half first quarter, 2.5 first half, 4.5 for the game. Next game up, we've got Oregon State, Texas Tech. Line currently at 23.5, 61.5 total. Texas Tech's been really good at covering the numbers so far. 52 and another monster point spread. They covered both weeks 1 and week 2. That offense looks real. And defense hasn't been that bad either. Oregon State is not good. 3:30 Eastern time frame. It's all about Texas Tech for us in this one. Minus 6.5 first quarter, 23.5 first half. I'm sorry. 6.5 first quarter, 13.5 first half, and 23.5 for the game. Next game up. Also 3:30 Eastern time. USC goes on the road to Purdue. Have we seen USC so far this season? Wow. They lead college football in points, yards, offensively. They look really good. They seem to have found the quarterback to replace Caleb Williams. Defense looks better than it has been. The defense has played solid. Now, they really haven't played monster opponents yet, so we'll see when they go against better competition if that defense is going to hold up. But they look strong, right? They look like a formidable defense, which is what they've needed for quite some time. 20.5 is not near enough here. Purdue, I don't believe, is going to score. We actually took USC at 21 and felt pretty good about it. USC minus 6.5 first quarter, 11.5 first half, 21 for the game. A lot of doubters on USC on the road. That's why we've seen that line come down. I honestly love that offense. They might have to score 50 to get to cover the 21, but I think they get home in this one. Next game up. Pittsburgh, West Virginia, a game we desperately wanted to play, couldn't play it. This line's bounced around 6.5, 7, 7.5. So big time depending on what you want to do here. All my West Virginia peoples, you tell me, don't play no West Virginia in this one. Pittsburgh is way too good for what we've got so far. Rich Rod maybe down the road, a couple years from now, maybe they got it more than enough to beat Pittsburgh, or hell, even maybe next year, the way the transfer portal works. No play for us in this one. If we were, Pittsburgh minus 6.5 would be the play on this one. Next game up, SMU, Missouri State, also 3:30 Eastern time frame. No play for us in this one either. SMU was a complete disappointment against Baylor. They're 27.5 point favorite here. They should be able to cover the number. SMU should be embarrassed losing that game to Baylor the way they did. They dominated basically about 45 minutes of that game. And defensively just absolutely fell apart. Offensively couldn't score again to put it away. It was ugly. No play for us, but SMU is probably the correct side of it. Next game up, Washington State, North Texas, also 3:30 Eastern time frame. Should probably see some good offense here, I would think. 8.5 total. North Texas likes to score a bunch. There's a good chance for an over. Nothing for us in that one, but would lean over in that game there. Next game up, Iowa State, Arkansas State. So Iowa State on the road again. Fourth game, by the way. 20.5 point favorite, 55.5 total. I understand it was a low-scoring game against Iowa. 90% of the time, that's the case. It ends up being some slugfest with Iowa, in-state rivalry game. They won by a field goal. We cashed big with the under if you guys watched us last week in that one. But this one here smells like Cyclones, and I don't take the alma mater too often. But Iowa State minus 4.5 first quarter, 11.5 first half, 11.5 first half, 20.5 for the game. Next game up. Louisiana, Missouri. Missouri's quarterback out. Did I hear that correct? 27.5 point favorite for Mizzou. 4 o'clock Eastern time. No play for us in this one, but would lean probably to Mizzou. Next game up, Utah, UTEP, and Texas. Texas 41.5 points. Well, Texas didn't cover last week again. I don't know, I heard Arch was wincing. He's hurt. Sark heard that, and he got all pissed off. It sounds like to me that the receivers aren't separating very well for Arch, and they're not running the ball as well as they want to. The offensive line isn't holding up as they thought they had a great offensive line. Quite hasn't gelled yet. There's some issues. Their defense is fantastic, though, for Texas. I will say that. If anything else, they can hang their hat on that one. They're 41.5-point favorites. To be really honest, play UTEP in this one because I don't know if Texas is going to score 42 or under 51.5 as Texas might shut them out. Next game up, 4:30 Eastern time frame, South Florida, Miami in this one at Coral. What? We got the Orange Bowl, 57.5 total. South Florida, currently this line's at 17.5. I will tell you this. Be careful in this game because a lot of sharps are already on it. It came down from 18.5 to 17.5, and we're not even close to Saturday yet, right? So you can tell there's money being heavily poured in. Everybody's going to love South Florida after they beat Boise, then they went and beat Florida. We like South Florida in this one as well. It's not a monster play for us, but we do like South Florida. Plus 6.5 first quarter, 10.5 first half, 18.5 for the game. The defense for South Florida is going to have to stop Miami because they are not going to be able to score at will, I don't think, on the Hurricanes. So that defense is going to have to come to play. They have the last 2 weeks for sure. Can they do it a third week in a row? It's asking a lot out of college kids, I think, to get 3 consistent defensive performances. I'm not going to lie. That offense, though, could help out that defense by scoring some damn points. It would be nice if they would contribute as well. Next game up, Middle Tennessee, Nevada. Nevada's favored by 9.5. That's too much. We're not in this game at 5 o'clock Eastern time, but if we were, Middle Tennessee plus the points. Next game up, 5 o'clock Eastern as well. Liberty and Bowling Green. Liberty obviously was a big favorite last week, lose by 10 to Jacksonville State. How the hell is Liberty favored again? The book's giving us a freebie here. I'm not saying Bowling Green's going to win this one like Jacksonville State did last week, but Liberty is not as good as they were 2 years ago. I don't know if the betting public still thinks they are. Bowling Green plus 2.5 first quarter, 3.5 first half, 6.5 for the game. One of our favorite plays on College Football Saturday is Bowling Green plus the points. Not our biggest, but close to it. Next game up, we've got a Florida Atlantic and Florida International, 6 o'clock Eastern time frame. FAU getting points. I understand it's on the road. This is a tough rivalry game. FAU is the better team. Now, the question is the rivalry going to pay off, or is the home team going to win this thing? You know what I mean? Like, is FAU going to be able to play like that? FAU plus 0.5 first quarter, 1.5 first half, 2.5 for the game. Next game up, as we continue through College Football Saturday, right? There's so many games. Arkansas, Ole Miss. I still can't figure out Ole Miss. 1 week they look good offensively, then they go play Kentucky and they look good. I'm still confused. So staying away from this one here. Ole Miss favored by a touchdown, 61.5. Probably goes over if you want to play something there. 7 o'clock Eastern time. This one to me is very interesting. Ohio State. I know the line's 30.5. It was 31.5. So if that leads you to believe, Ohio State obviously played conservative in week 1. It was enough. Played last week, opened it up. Julian Sand looked like the future Heisman he's going to be. Maybe not this year, but next. Now, Ohio is a really good team. I mean, 30.5, 31.5 is a lot of points. So I don't know if Ohio State covers here. They're going to win, right? Not that anybody was going to play like a minus 10,000 money line anyway, but keep in mind, Ohio might keep this thing close, especially maybe first half, maybe just focus on that end of it. Next game up, 7 o'clock Eastern time, Illinois hosting Western Michigan. Illinois, I want to give them a little props. I thought for sure this would be the game they laid down last week against Duke. Now, Duke outgained them in yards, but they turned them over like mad crazy. And that was the difference in the game when Illinois blew it up on like the 5th or 6th freaking turnover in that one there. Illinois' got a good offense. Defense is solid. Obviously, they're turning the people over. They're going to crush Kalamazoo and the Western Michigan. 27.5-point line here. We expect Illinois to win by 6 touchdowns. Illinois minus 6.5 first quarter, 14.5 first half. and 27.5 for the game. I do want to go back to that Ole Miss game. I screwed up. I forgot we did play them. They're at 7. We took them at the 7. Ole Miss minus 2.5 first quarter, 4.5 first half, 7 for the game. It is a smaller play for us this weekend when it comes to college football. Next game, and I apologize about that. After just talking shit, then I told you we played it. Virginia Tech, Old Dominion. Beat Tech, favored by 7. They played really good in the first half of both games against South Carolina and then last week and figured out how to screw that up. Nothing for us in this one here. Would probably lean V-Tech first quarter, first half again until proven otherwise. Next game up, we have Appalachian State, Southern Miss. App State, this line is steamed up to 3. We got this when it was at 1.5, and we just played money line to make it simple. Now that this thing's up to 3, I guess we got to lay 3 for the public, right? Now, like I said, I do think App State wins this game. I think this is a tight game, but I do think they win this game, but not extremely handily. I don't know if they win by a touchdown or 2, but App State, much better than what Southern Miss has shown so far. App State money line, first quarter, first half, and the game. Next game up, we have 7 o'clock Eastern time. Jacksonville State is still not getting any respect. So they beat Liberty by 10. They played UCF extremely tough in week 1. And they're still 3.5-point dogs against Georgia Southern. This is not Georgia. It's Georgia Southern. Like, when's Jacksonville State going to get some respect? 58.5 total. We're on Jacksonville State again because I guess they just want – now the line has come down from 4 to 3.5. Still like it at 3.5. Jacksonville State plus a half first quarter, 2.5 first half, 4 for the game. Do not blame me if you want to go back to the money line with Jacksonville State. They're not a bad little ball club. Are they going to beat a blue blood? No. But are they going to win a lot of these games? Yes. Texas A&M and Notre Dame. Line was 7, down to 6.5. Notre Dame favored here. Notre Dame, I will give them credit. They looked really good in the second half against Miami. That first half with the young quarterback was a tough one. In the first 3 weeks, they played probably their 2 toughest opponents. Texas A&M, once this game's over, Notre Dame's going to rattle off a bunch of wins in a row. But Notre Dame in this one, no play for us at 7:30 Eastern time frame. If we had to, probably Texas A&M and take them at 7, keep the push and play. 7.5, I think you got a winner. I think it's a one-score game there. They should be just fine. Next game up, Florida and LSU. I don't know how to tell. This one is got confusing written all over it. LSU 7.5-point favorite, 47.5 total. To be really honest, I don't know if Florida could have played much worse against South Florida. South Florida's defense might be better than LSU's. Just saying. The way they played anyway. The line got increased after the Florida lost. Florida might be a little ticked off in this one. No play for us here. But would not be surprised if Florida covers the number and maybe LSU wins by a field goal. Or this would be a prime time for Brian Kelly to have a screw-up in this one here. Next game up, Kentucky, Eastern Michigan, 7:30 Eastern time as well. No play for us after Kentucky defense last week was god-awful. They're 24.5-point favorites. I don't know if they can score that many points. So I'd probably lean Eastern Michigan plus the points. Next game up, New Mexico State, Louisiana Tech, 7:30 Eastern time. L Tech favored by 10. Don't like this one either, 43.5. Stay away game from us. East Carolina, Coastal Carolina. East Carolina on the road. East Carolina's played pretty well. They took NC State to the fourth quarter. They're not a bad little ball club here. They're a pretty sizable favorite, though, for being on the road. Coastal Carolina is not as good as they've been for the last couple seasons. East Carolina covers the 7.5 here. No play for us in this one, but that's the way we would lean. UMass, Iowa, 7:30 Eastern time as well. Iowa favored by 35.5. So if you want to play Iowa here, I'm going to make this really simple. Get it to 34.5. I think they can score 42 points here. 42-7 final, 42-6 final, something to that effect. But they can score 42 points. UMass should get maybe a couple field goals on the board. That's about it. South Carolina, Vanderbilt, 7:45 Eastern time frame. Vandy is getting a lot of love against Sellers in this one. Sellers and South Carolina Gamecocks. Now, I understand the offense has been a little underwhelming for South Carolina. I'm with you. They haven't really opened it up too much. But really, Vandy comes off that win after getting crushed in the first half against VTech, and now all of a sudden they're only a 4-point dog on the road? No thanks. South Carolina in this one big. South Carolina minus a half first quarter, 3.5 first half, 4.5 for the game. South Carolina wins this thing 2 touchdowns. I don't think there's any ifs or buts about that one. Next game up, Utah, Wyoming, 8 o'clock Eastern time frame. To be really honest here, Utah has looked outstanding. And if they're going to continue to score like they have been, they're going to win the Big 12. Wyoming at home is normally difficult. Like, they're normally good against the number. They're getting 23.5. This might be the week where maybe Utah doesn't score as many points as they have. So didn't want to play it in that one there, but would lean Utah 23.5, even though Wyoming's tough at home. If Utah's offense is good as we've seen, watch out, Big 12. The Utes are going to win. Next game up, 8 o'clock Eastern time frame. Once again, the book gives all kinds of disrespect to Tulane. Tulane's 2-0, 2-0 against the number. Duke comes to town. They turned the ball over so damn much. It was unreal. Duke's quarterback was the Tulane freshman quarterback last year until he became the number 1 paid player in all of college football. Congratulations, Duke Blue Devils. You can't spend money on something besides basketball. Tulane's at home. Tulane's defense has been outstanding. Held Northwestern to 3 points. Do we remember? Yes. Love Tulane. Tulane goes 3-0 against the number. Tulane money line. First quarter, first half game. Don't need that damn 1.5. Take them on the money line. Let's rock and roll. Next game up. Navy, Tulsa. Man, we'd really like to play in this one as Navy's looked good so far. 14-point favorite against Tulsa. No play for us in this one as we think we win. They win like 2 to 3 touchdowns, so that's kind of in that realm. So no play for us in that one. Akron, UAB, 8:30 Eastern time. I know nobody's going to look at this game initially and go, got to have me some of this UAB action or Akron action. Akron has barely figured out how to score any points in 2 games this season. They couldn't score against Toledo, right? UAB is actually pretty damn good. For, mid-major type team, UAB's legit, and they're at home, and this line steamed up a little bit already because the Sharps have figured it out. It went from 10.5 to 11.5. We did grab it at 10.5 and put it on the Discord there, but UAB minus 3.5 first quarter, 6.5 first half, 10.5 for the game. I think UAB wins this thing by 3 touchdowns. I honestly think they're probably up by 4 and give up a late one. Next game up. So we're almost finished up here, right? Air Force, Utah State. Now, Air Force is good, or not really. Utah State has played solid so far through the first 2 weeks. How the hell are they getting 4.5? Not only that, power rankings suggest Utah State wins this game outright and not close. It's almost a 60-40 split to the Utah State. This one was one of our biggest plays of the weekend. I understand we're waiting until the last damn minute, it seems like, right? At 10:30, what time? 9:45 Eastern time frame. But it's Utah State plus a half first quarter, 2.5 first half, 4.5 for the game. That's a lot of points for Utah State. I'm telling you, that offense can cook. Next game up, Texas State, Arizona State. Totals at 60.5. This game could be played in the 70s. No play for us as Arizona State has shown to be less than productive so far. 15.5 points there. I would probably lane it with Arizona State and go over if we had to play. Minnesota and Cal, 10:30 Eastern time frame. Minnesota's barely, like power rankings wise, is barely like a 51% to win this game on the road. Cal's getting 2.5. No play for us. In this one, we would lean to the Cal plus the points or Cal money line. And then we get to final game of the night? Boston College, Stanford. We might still come back and play this one. If you're on the Discord, you'll get it if we do. Boston College, 2-touchdown favorite. Boston College should have won last week against Michigan State. On the road. They're on the road again. But Stanford is no bueno, as we've seen so far. This is a tough one here. Boston College, we think, wins by 3 touchdowns. Like I said, I think we're going to have to come back and play this one. So everybody that's on the Discord that's watching, keep that in mind as well. We'll post it just to let you know. But Boston College looks like a good one. Like I said, we got a ton of late action in college football for Saturday. All right, so every episode here on YouTube for us, brought to you by the world's #1 sports betting app, Outlier, 7-day free trial in the comment section. Also, the YouTube channel section. They think you'll love it so much you'll sign up. And I'll be really honest with you, the people that I know that have signed up, they all end up paying after the trial. It's not that expensive, and it's got fantastic data and info for you. Also, Discord channel available for all of you out there. Highly recommend it. You can also find it YouTube channel page and at the end of every episode in the comments section for the Discord. It's a lot of fun in there. A couple hundred plus people shooting around ideas all day long. Plus, you're going to get a separate wager of all of our bets as well. There's a couple other cappers that occasionally throw in plays. A lot of good stuff in there. We do appreciate everybody's support, as always, and we look forward to seeing you on our next episode.